Welcome back. Welcome back to the Kovacs report. It's my favorite time of the month again. That's right. It's previews catalog time. And we're going to kick off with Marvel's huge previews catalog. We got Avengers Armageddon on the front there. We got all sorts of cool stuff coming. Now, this is the April solicits, and all the books in here, or more or less, most of the books in here will be shipping in June of this year. So I'm going to go through page by page. I'm going to say some nice things. I'm going to say some bad things probably. But listen, we're just having a laugh here. But there will be probably lots of spoilers. So bear that in mind. Now, if you have time, please do hit subscribe and give the video a little like. I'd really appreciate it and help me grow the channel. Let's dive straight in. Like I say, we got Chip Zdarsky here, Delio Diaz and Frank Alpizar with the big Avengers Armageddon #1, the big mega event that's going to redefine Marvel and the Avengers. Well, we hope it will. Anyway, I have made a video of the prelude. There's a few pages and some information about the comic giveaway day one-shot book, which is probably essential reading if you are following this Armageddon event. So check that video out and get the book on your list down your LCS. Okay. Let's do it. Let's dive in. Woo-hoo. So, Captain America is rolling along nicely. We're jumping from issue 8, which has just come out, to issue 12 here. So this could be very, very interesting. There are going to be reveals. I see Doctor Doom in the background there. I wonder what's happening. Is Doom back? He probably is. And we have Wolverine. Probably the, I did warn you, I'm going to say some horrible things and some good things. The worst running Wolverine in years. And we've taken Snicked and we've changed it to Snapped. Why? Well, as you can see, Wolverine, well, he's had his adamantium broken. Yes, the unbreakable metal. I didn't think it could be broken, but it apparently can be. And there we go. He's down to some stumpy bones instead of his nice, sharp adamantium claws. When the claws break, the animal is the most dangerous. Oh, God, that's frightening. Now, Avengers Armageddon, like I say, I made a little video about it, going a little bit more in depth. So we're going to read the synopsis. We're not going to try and give too much away here. So, Chip Zdarsky, Delio Diaz, Frank Alpizar. We got a Dyke Run cover here. Of course, there'll be probably a lot more variants than is stated here, but we got a Kari Andrews cover to look at there. So Armageddon has arrived. It is. Red Hulk's devastating tear across the globe must be stopped. Red Hulk, you say? Go watch my video and you'll find out why. Yes, but it will take a colossal gathering of Earth's mightiest heroes to do it. Calling in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Wolverine, and more. Probably the X-Men, no doubt. But who will survive this superpowered cataclysm? I don't know. There will be a pre-Armageddon Marvel Universe and a post-Armageddon Marvel Universe. Be here to bear witness to the transformation. So there we go. 30 pages, $6, of course. Event book, $6 I hope it's good. I really, really do. So far, the teasers and everything else about Armageddon have been really interesting, and I am genuinely excited by it. And I'm very happy that this is going to relaunch the Avengers and probably a lot of other titles, but the Avengers specifically, because I've not really enjoyed that Avengers book. So it's time for some fresh eyes, some fresh creative team on the Avengers, and see if we can get it back to being as good as I remember it. So there we go. Now we do have these pages. Again, I've gone over them in a little bit more depth over in my other video, but there's some extra pages by the looks. We've got some black and whites here, some uncolored. As you can see, we've got a Red Hulk, but we've got a blue and white Hulk too. That's right. And it looks like the Avengers are getting absolutely batterooed. Look at poor Spidey and Iron Man, everyone else there. Now, as you can see, the words reset twice there. I will go over that. Well, basically, Doctor Doom had some time device in one world under Doom, and he used it to reset time so he can go back and destroy and defeat everybody. So if he failed, he could just go back and use what he learned from the previous battle to defeat anyone who came along his way. And it seems General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, aka the Red Hulk, well, it looks like he found that in Doom's dungeons, and he's using it to take over Latveria and potentially spread out from Latveria into the world. There we go. So here we are. Again, this looks like General Ross and his Hulk bros. I think they are part of his sort of crack marine team that is loyal only to him, and he's juiced them up with some kind of like Hulk goo. I don't know. I say Hulk goo. That brings horrible thoughts into my brain. But it looks like that's what's happening there. That might be a Steve Rogers that they've captured. Who knows? Who knows? Because we do know good old Steve Rogers, he's been imprisoned by the end of this preview. I think we'll see it. Again, more cool pages. Everyone's assembled. Everyone is here. Every single one. And good old Spidey on top of the old Stark building roof. There he is, Tony, working his magic. Maybe he's come up with a solution to take on Thaddeus Ross. Now, Captain America 12, Chip Zdarsky, Vado Skitty, frozen in hell. So as you can see, it looks like Doom here. Well, it looks like Doom's melting Cap's shield. Well, he must have some severe power to do that. I don't know how he's doing that, but I guess Doom is back. Or maybe he isn't. Maybe this isn't Dr. Doom. Maybe this is Elena Von Doom, his pacifist cousin, who is currently fighting for the freedom of Latveria now. Or maybe it's a Doombot, or maybe it is Victor Von Doom. Well, let's think about this. Is there a movie coming out? Yes. Is Dr. Doom in it? Yeah, well, got to get Dr. Doom back in the books. It's Dr. Doom. What does it say? It says, after S.H.I.E.L.D.'s campaign in Latveria meets a brutal and violent end, Captain America finds himself in the last place he expected to be, alongside the last person he expected to see again. Where has Victor Von Doom been since the fall of Doom? And what does he want with Steve Rogers? Find out here as everything hurtles towards Armageddon. Well, maybe Steve has thrown in with his enemy, because the enemy of my enemy, you know, maybe Salvation, which is the guy that's basically going to try and take over Latveria. Maybe he's getting too big for his boots before Thaddeus can stomp on him. Or maybe it's to take on Thaddeus. We don't know. We really don't know. What we do know is we've got some cool covers here that are hinting at what may come. Okay, Queen in Black is going to start. So Null, the mini-series, which features, well, Null trying to get his power back and take on Hela here. Well, that's going to lead into this other mini-event, Queen in Black. Yes, that's right. But is it going to be any good? Well, I don't know. But what I will say is that Null is pretty boring. It is a repetitive slog every single page. And it's written by Al Ewing, who is writing Queen in Black. So, you know what? It's a 50-50. It's probably less than that. I don't know. I'm going to give it a go, of course, and we will see how it pans out. We've got some cool covers. So we got Al Ewing with Ivan Coelho. We've got some Ryan Stegman covers here. Chip Zdarsky's throwing in another cover too, which looks actually quite damn cool, I've got to admit. So, Hell on Earth. On the farthest edges of the solar system, Null, god of the void, builds a brand new army to destroy Earth. But Hela of Asgard might have gotten there first. Ooh, as she makes planetfall with a legion of the galaxy's deadliest symbiotes. Yes, lots of symbiotes, of course. Two of the most powerful evils in the galaxy are at war, and the son of Venom is caught right in the middle. Writer Al Ewing and Iban Coelho, the team behind Venom War, bring you a cosmic collision of evil versus evil with the good caught in the middle. Okay, we'll give it a go. 56 pages, $8. Whoa. Well, let's hope that's good too. So, True Believers blind bag. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, as you already know, it's now a staple in the comic book industry. We are not going to get rid of variant covers for a very long time. So let's see each blind bag. So this is another blind bag event. Of course it is. Contains one of these variant covers to Queen in Black 1. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got 13 variants. Plus we've got several rare blind bag exclusive variant covers by surprise contributors. And I guess those would be the one-of-one sketches which Marvel have thrown in, which actually is a nice touch. If you get one, they are worth a bundle. They are worth a bundle. Hello, eBay. Okay, Scotty Young, of course, doing his thing. Always nice to see Scotty Young. What have we got here? We got John Romita Jr. Come on, John Romita Jr. You are better than that. Okay, and we've got this new Spidey book. I'm getting excited. Jonathan Hickman and Kubo are on it. Now, again, I've done a little video about this as well, but I am so excited by this. And this book is out of not necessarily canon or continuity, but it's separate. So he can do whatever he wants here, okay? And it won't affect anything else that's going on in the Marvel U. And I could not be more excited. We've got the Hulky there. It looks like we've got a Cosmic Cube. So Spider-Man, long way home. That's right. But don't fret. This is just in name only. A nod to what's going on over in the movies. From what I've read and seen, this has got nothing to do with MCU synergy, as far as I know. I hope it doesn't. So Adam Kubert, like I say, art and covers. Look at those covers. We've got a Dave Johnson cover too. It's glorious. And look at this art. Punisher looks real surly there with his team going into what looks like, I don't know, Vietnam, something like that. Maybe that's a flashback. Who knows? We'll find out when we read this this synopsis. So, a dark homecoming awaits. It's a world before the Punisher. Oh, so this is pre-Punisher. It's just Frank Castle. A world where the existence of the Hulk is but a whisper of a rumor. a world where AIM has just developed a cosmic cube in the jungles of South America. This is really going back. Frank Castle, Bruce Banner, and Peter Parker are on a mission to keep the cube out of the wrong hands, including each other's. Hey, Spidey would do the right thing. In this three-way, wink, wink, free for all, for the power of the cosmos, who will come out on top? The puns keep coming. Legendary creation Arthur Hickman and Adam Kubert team up to tell the grittiest Spider-Man story of the ages. Now, I am, as you can tell, very excited by this. Spidey's my favourite character. I love the Punisher too. And this art, holy moly, look at it. Again, check out the other video. We go into the art a little bit more in depth. So we have another event which we knew was coming. Hulk War, Infernal Rage. And that kicks off, by the looks of it, in issue 8. And this is going to be a special issue too, because we got the return of Bruce Banner. Now, if you don't already know, Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein have been on a generational Hulk run. They did 30-odd issues of Incredible Hulk, which then spawned into the Infernal Hulk, because it fits the story. It's a 3-act thing, and then I guess it's going to revert back to the Incredible Hulk when Bruce Banner reclaims the body of the Hulk, because he has been physically separated from the Hulk, and some nefarious do-gooder, is that how you say it? Well, they've taken over Hulk's body and are rampaging in an age of monsters across the earth. So this is where it's all leading. Good old Brucey Banner's got to step up, take responsibility, and put that bad Hulk down. But it looks damn cool. It looks damn cool. So what does it say? What does it say? Earth's mightiest heroes reunite to stop Infernal Hulk, leading them deep within the earth where they find an ancient weapon that could save humanity from another age of monsters. But is even a god-slaying weapon enough to stop Infernal Hulk? Featuring the return of Scar. Okay, so that should be interesting. So let's put this in perspective, right? What we've got right now is we've got a Spidey event that's happening. Okay, the Death Spiral. We've got Armageddon unfolding too. We've got Queen in Black unfolding. And now we've got Infernal Rage, Hulk War event. That's 4 events. There's probably more that are kind of converging. How are they gonna work together? Are they going to overlap? Or are they going to finish before the other one starts? That's a lot to juggle. A lot to juggle. Okay, Doom Quest by Ryan North and Francesco Mobili. Well, Doom Quest #1 has not come out yet. And again, this is a primer for Doom, the movie Doom, basically. Ryan North's been shot this book, and basically I think it's going to tell stories that are just about Doom. But the premise is so bad. It really, really is. Again, I think this is just to sort of get everyone sort of involved with Doom and, onto the movie theatre seat. So Doom is unsinkable. Okay, we got some homage covers there. Doctor Doom has been sent back in time. I know, another time story, without his armor, and without any technology, but with the only thing he's ever needed, his mind. Unfortunately, the date he's been sent to is April 15, 1912. The place he's been sent to is the North Atlantic, and the name of the ship he now finds himself on is the RMS Titanic. Oh boy. So what this essentially is that Reed Richards has decided, for some weird reason, to go against everything that Reed Richards would normally stand for, to go back in time and stop key individuals from igniting major wars that have caused lots of death. But Dr. Doom here, Victor Von Doom, not to be outdone, decides that he's going to do it instead. So he's gone back in time and he's doing his thing, and he's going to go touch on all these sort of key events throughout our real history, and he's going to be there doing what Doom does. I know. It is Ryan North, guys. What do you expect? Anyway, but Doom will not allow himself to be caught, and Doom will not allow himself to be destroyed. He rails against fate, determined to rewrite history no matter what it costs for him or anyone else. And now Doctor Doom faces his greatest challenge yet, and he refuses to go down with the ship. Oh, what a bad pun for the Titanic. Oh my God. Anyway, they've removed the Reed Richards element here, which was in the original Doom Quest solicit. Very interesting. Okay, speaking of movie synergy, the Fantastic Four First Foes book is Shada Bal, who, as you already know, has been the replacement for Norrin Rad in the movie. They have done another movie tie-in book, so this is purely aimed at movie fans. So that's all right. I mean, again, we got Shada Bal. Do I care? Probably not. Will I pick it up and take a look at it? Yeah, maybe. Now, the origins of Shalabal. Years ago, in order to save her planet, Astronomer Shalabau gave up her freedom to become the sustenance-seeking herald of the intergalactic devourer of worlds. Galactus now, for the first time, learned the secrets of her transformation, her journey, and the horrifying decisions that she had to make. Well, to be honest, I'm just not interested. And before anyone types it, I'm not being sexist. I'm not being sexist at all. I'm just not interested in this Silver Surfer. It's Norrin Rad or nothing for me. And again, not because he's a guy and she's a girl, but purely because that's the Silver Surfer that I've grown up with. That's the one that I'm interested in. This has just been, thrown into a movie to tick some boxes. So I'm sorry, but that's off the list. That's off the list. Now, speaking of events, we do have another strange event rolling through all of the other events, which is the Ultimate Universe. As you know, it's all over in a couple of issues. But it's going to have repercussions across this 616 because these original boxes, well, they've been brought back. They've been brought back from the old universe, and they're going to grant some people powers, good people and bad, probably. So we're getting some new characters, some new villains due to these original boxes. Now, of course, there's a mini event that's going to explain how that all happens because that does lead in and play a part in the Armageddon event too. So like I say, that's 5 events, guys. 5 events in one previous catalogue. And this is called Reborn. Ultimate Impact, and we'll get into issue number 2. Now, Chris Condon has been given the job of doing this. Not sure why. His Wolverine isn't that great, or his Ultimate Wolverine wasn't that great. We got Stefano Caselli on art. Now, we have some new characters. So I read an interview, okay, and Chris Condon was lamenting about the fact Marvel's given him this huge free reign, this creative space to create brand new characters, and that he could do absolutely whatever he wanted with this. So time to really, do a Bendis and create some cool characters that are still here decades later. No, what have we got? We've got movie, TV, Marvel synergy time. We've got Wonderman. Now, by the way, I have actually watched almost all of the Wonderman TV series. I'll be honest, so far I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. I don't care if he's black or white, okay? I really couldn't care less about that, okay? It was a damn fine TV show. So what they're doing is they're reinventing Wonderman, and he's going to be identical to the Wonderman in the TV show. But we have another villain. We have another villain as well. I'm not sure if they're going to show us in this book. And he's got a dumb name and he is completely forgettable. And ironically, he's right here on this cover. But do they even mention him? Let's find out. With the original boxes scattered, new heroes and villains rise across the Marvel Universe. Miles Morales races to undo the damage, but is it too late? And a new threat from the Ultimate U is at large and aiming the ultimate negabands right in the Punisher's face. Ooh. He's called something like, what is he called? Let me find out because it's so dumb. Chris Condon, new ultimate characters. What are they called? Honestly, what are they called? So we've got this new version of Wonderman, which is, I like to say, it's interesting. It's pretty cool. Ties in with everything else. What are they called? I've got to find these names. I should have done my research, right? Should have done my research. Damn it, if I can't find it, this is going to be embarrassing. Look, it's got a dumb as fuck name. I can't even remember it because it's that dumb as fuck. But there we go. There's just 2 new characters. A wasted opportunity, in my opinion, right? When you get that kind of creative freedom with Marvel, do something good with it. Now, for some strange reason, Jane Silent Bob are going to be essentially Marvel canon now. They did have a little guest appearance standing outside I think a pancake shop, a breakfast diner in Deadpool issue number 2. And it looks like they're getting their own series. Why? I have no idea. Kevin Smith, Giuseppe Camicoli are the creative team behind it, obviously. Doom decrees the dim-witted duo must die. So again, Dr. Doom's coming in the movies. Let's throw him in a Jay and Silent Bob book. Jays of Future Past. Little X-Men nod there. So let's read what it says. Captain America... Oh... Jay and friendly neighborhood Widerman Silent Bob make a quick stop in the Marvel Universe. But when Dr. Doom decrees these Jersey guys must die, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, and a whole hooray host of heroes must team up on a joint mission to save the dim-witted duo from a lethal case of superhero fatigue. I'm not even remotely interested. I'm sorry. I think Kevin Smith has fallen from grace. He did some great stuff back in the day. Well, if he ever finished the damn series. I mean, some of them took forever, but now I think he's not, he just not as good. You know what I mean? I just don't enjoy it. I don't look forward to it. And I don't even watch the movies anymore. Anyway, I guess it's a silly book, a fun book. And if you like fun books, then you're going to enjoy it. So no surprises here as predicted. When Spider-Man came back from space, he brought himself Marvel's next next new character, okay? They brought the little Funko Pop, Funko Pop, the mini version of Venom called Symbi. And there he is. And of course, as you would expect, got his own series. So Symbi essentially is a mini symbiote who doesn't need a host to sort of exist, and go about his daily business. And basically he sucks on people's heads and eats ice cream so far. Again, I think that sort of demonstrates and explains the extent of Joe Kelly's humor in Amazing Spider-Man. But here we have Joe Kelly and David Baldion are doing Amazing Spider-Man Symbi #1. From Death Spiral to Queen in Black, these are the origins of Symbi, if anyone cares. Spidey met the weird little monster in space, but had no idea of the little glob's history. Take a journey back to the very beginning of the Clintar race that led to Venom and Carnage to see the journey Symbi has made. It may surprise you. Plus, a Symbi bonus story in the spirit of the hit Infinity comic by Jacob Cabot. Okay, well, there we go. Next, X-Men 97, and I absolutely loved the animation. I loved the series that they recently did. I guess they're working on season 2 because we get a season 2 comic. The show was so good. The first 3 episodes sort of built the characters for you, got you into sort of the story, and then boom, they really hit you hard for the rest of it. It was absolutely superb. So Steve Fox, again, a weird choice, and Salva Espin are the creative team on this. It's a 5-issue mini-series. What does it say? Extinction Day has come and gone, and your favorite X-Men are lost in time. Okay, another time travel story, of course. Spinning out of the X-Men 97 hit TV series. That is true, it was a hit for me. We follow the X-Men left behind in a world that hunts and hates mutant kind. Can they survive? And just where or when are the X-Men now? Leading directly from the end of season 1 to the start of the upcoming season 2. No X-Men 97 fan can miss this one. So I'm going to have to read it now because I love this series and I want to watch season 2. So we're going to pick it up and give it a little review. Okay, let's hope it's as good as the TV show. So we got some art. Again, it's a little bit off, isn't it? It's a little bit off. Looks very lazy indeed. I guess they're trying to mimic the TV show, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. X-Men Outback #1. Yes, Steve Orlando, for some reason, has been given an X-Men series. And again, luckily enough, I did a little video about it a few weeks ago. We're going back to the Australian Outback. That's right. We are revisiting some of Claremont's legendary stories. Let's see what it's all about. From the Australian Outback, a journey back to a time when the public believes Storm, Wolverine, Rogue Colossus, Dazzler, Havoc, Psylocke, and Longshot were dead. And again, check out that video for a bit more in-depth history of what led to this and what it all means. Okay, but from the shadows, these X-Men protected humanity from their Australian headquarters. But why did the team choose the Outback as their home base? How did tensions between them almost tear the team apart? And which of their old enemies threatened to expose their secret? Steve Orlando and Steven Segovia revisit a fan-favourite era in the Mighty Mutants past. Now, again, this isn't rewriting anything, I don't think. I think this is going to sort of do a lot of sort of behind-the-scenes stories, maybe flesh some things out. I'm not sure why on earth they didn't get Claremont to write it. I don't know, because he's had several interviews where he says, Marvel told them they have to get them out of the Outback, get them back to the status quo. He wanted to write more of these stories back then, so why not give the master the chance to do it? I don't know. And to me, Steve Orlando's not a big pull. I've not enjoyed anything that he's done. Speaking of writers I don't enjoy, and it's the same thing. Marvel's bullpen is essentially the same 5 writers. They just jump in between books and the quality never increases. So Bishop's back again. I think I did a video about this. Salim Ahmed, Mario Santoro are the creative team. So the Time Lost X-Man is back. Now I'm excited by this because guess who's back? Shard, his sister. So it does sound very cool. And again, watch that video for some of the backgrounds of the story. and that will lead into this, I guess. So Bishop has always lived by a strict code, but that code will get called into question when his sister Shard is sent to the present right before she died. Ooh. Will Bishop adhere to his principles and protect the time stream, or will he risk it all to save the most important person in his life? Superstar writer? Debatable. Saladin Ahmed will put the tough as nails mutant through the ringer. There we go. Well, at least we got some cool covers out of it. That's one thing. So Uncanny X-Men continues. Issue 29. I'm surprised it hasn't been cancelled and relaunched with a new creative team. But Gail Simone is doing her thing over there. Luciano Vecchio is doing the art. It's not for me. I love the first issue. It was incredible. And I like some of the arcs here and there. But for me, again, I'm repeating myself. I say it every single time I do the preview video. It's more a runaway style book. And I just don't want that from my Uncanny X-Men. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's just not aimed at me. You know, it's just not aimed at me. So they're double shipping. Okay, Mars needs mutants. Don't know what that's about. Let's find out. Widespread panic breaks out in Louisiana as it becomes ground zero for an alien invasion force. But are they really what they seem, and are they a known species of new terror altogether? I don't know. We'll check it out and we'll see if it's any good. Now, Marvel seems to be doing these soccer variants at the moment. I guess there's some big football, as we call it here in the UK, football, soccer tournament going. I'm not sure. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But there seems to be a lot of these variant covers where the gangs of superheroes and supervillains are playing soccer. Okay, X-Men, again, double shipping. Jed Matei continues. Now, listen, again, after the Age of Revelation, which by all metrics was a bit of a letdown, let's be honest. We had this one issue of the X-Men, which was the first issue with everyone back in the correct timelines, or not in the correct timelines. And it basically fleshed out the next big threat to the X-Men, okay, or one of them, which was the mutant organization 3K. And it was a big reveal, who, who are the 3K, who's doing what. And as you know, Bad Beast, Dark Beast has come back, and he's the leader of 3K. And there's lots of other things that tie back to Age of Revelation and what's been going. Oh, okay, it's pretty cool. We've introduced us to the villains. Then the next issue, for some bizarre reason, okay, had a really heavy-handed story running through it. Or we must find Doug Ramsey. We need to prevent Doug from becoming Revelation. Okay, we need to prevent that terrible thing that's happened in the future. We've got to find him. And the whole issue was the X-Men beating up white supremacists. Now, again, honestly, chill your boots, right? I don't give a fuck about white supremacists. Beat them up every single day. But that was the whole issue. And then we introduced someone else who is going to be going against the X-Men, okay? And the whole issue is about, we've got to find Doug Ramsey. We've got to find Doug Ramsey. Where is Doug Ramsey? So I thought, great, well, this is the kickoff. This is them trying to find Doug Ramsey. The last two issues, completely brand new story called Danger Room. And the first issue was, I think, was all about the bad guys. It was all about the bad guys that are coming to give the X-Men some hard time. Where's Doug Ramsey gone? So we've got this whole new arc that's about, is it one, the bad guys, one? I don't know. And they're all going to sort of team up and take down the X-Men because they don't like them. I'm like, what happened to the Doug Ramsey thing? And it just compounds my opinion of that issue, that in-between issue, which I got a bit of flack from, okay, but I did get some support, right? It felt like that issue was thrust in because Jed MacKay wanted to make a political statement rather than tell an X-Men story. And then suddenly it went back to this 5-part Danger Room story. Really strange. Really strange. I'm guessing this continues, this Danger Room story, or the Danger Room story finishes, and now we have this. So what does it say? The X-Men science team heads to the Rocky Mountains to investigate strange anomalies of physics while in pursuit of a Cerebo signal. There are others who are interested in it as well, and the mutant they find is not the mutant they expect. Okay. Then we get to issue 32. While the X-Men's rescue mission was compromised by the identity of the mutant they were tracking, first time Marvel didn't give it away. It's now completely shot to hell by the intervention of Department H, of course. Got to throw in Department H. They seem to be doing that a lot. Like, chuck it into Wolverine, chuck it into the X-Men. Normally, not a problem for the X-Men, but the science team wasn't a group assembled for battle. I don't know where this book is going. Again, still no mention whatsoever of the Doug Ramsey threat that, a whole issue was dedicated to explaining that is their major threat. That's the thing they need to do. Moving on. again, before people go, why make these videos if you don't like all the books? Well, I do like some of these books, and I'm going to review a lot of them, you know, and I make these videos because I love Marvel, and I want these books to be better. We've got to talk about this. We've got to say what we like and what we don't like, because eventually these big, ginormous comic book corporations will have to listen and improve these books, because they are not up to scratch. DC is killing it at the moment, and Marvel is dying as far as I'm concerned. It's not doing well, and it's a shame, because I've had these characters in my life over 40 years. You know, and I love them. And I love Laura Kinney. And they've given Generation X-23, okay, to Jodie Hauser and Marco Renner. And the first issue has come out. And it's just not very good. It really, really isn't very good. There might be a semblance of a good idea here and there, but it's just glossed over. It's just this usual sort of preteen slop that they're throwing out. It's terrible. So we have 3 or 4 books now where the older version of the hero, okay, is now a younger bunch of kids that they're going to mentor as, you know, the next stage in the evolution of the X-Men or the X program or whatever, and it's just boring. They're getting the same story, different characters across 3 or 4 different books, and we're gonna mention that yet again in the very next page. Anyway, Inglorious X-Force number 6. Now, I've forgotten whether it's an ongoing or not, but Tim Steele, Michael Stamaria have been doing their thing over there. First issue was okay. The second issue lost me a little bit, and I don't think I've got or going to get to the third issue, so I've dropped that. Generation X-23 issue 2 is about to drop, I think, this coming week. I will review it. I've seen the preview, and it does not look good. Oh boy, it does not look good. Anyway, X-Men United kicked off. Now, you may have heard about this book, because it used to be called Exceptional X-Men, and it didn't sell very well at all. In fact, Eve L. Ewing tried to weave an interesting story, and it just turned into the usual slop you expect from Eve L. Ewing, and the book was cancelled. But what did they do? Marvel sat back and then, okay, let's just give it a little while, and then let's give Eve L. Ewing a new book, give it a different name, and this is a flagship ongoing book, and essentially tell exactly the same story, just in a different school. So they had a physical school in Exceptional X-Men with Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost and everyone else trying to teach this new ragtag bunch of new mutants who are completely bloody boring anyway. But this is new, guys. Okay, now the only difference being is that it's not in a physical school anymore. It's in a mind palace, a psychic projection of a school. That's right. And in this psychic projection of a school, your body is left in the real world, leaving you pretty much at risk to whatever's going on there. Now, in this psychic school, because I didn't mention this in the last video, they've created this beautiful school. There's like a garden, you know, there's, I guess, rooms to train in, a cafeteria and toilet. I mean, you're in a mind psychic. You don't need any of those things. You don't need a toilet. You don't need a cafe. I don't know what's going on. It's so bizarre. At first, it sounds like a cool idea, but then you dig deeper, and it's just ridiculous. Anyway, it's the same fucking book that didn't sell. So wouldn't be surprised after 5 or 10 issues, it's either rebooted or we get a new creative team on it. Because it truly isn't good. It truly isn't good. And this is a flagship X-Men book. So we've got in the 2 flagship X-Men books. So let's say it's 3 X-Men books, right? So 2 of those flagship books, you've got older generation trying to teach the younger generation, right? And we've got that across 3 X-Men books, actually. We think about Generation X-23. We've also got that in Spider-Man, where Norman Osborn, of all people, let's not get into it, is going to take all the younger Spider characters and mentor them too. So we've got 4 or 5 books of exactly the same concept. I don't know. Doesn't sound good to me, boys and girls. Anyway, Storm's back. I read the first one. It was so difficult to read. That is off my list. If you like what Murewa Ayodele is doing with Storm, will have like what he's done in the past, then this book is for you. If you don't, I'd avoid it. Now, Moonstar. Has Moonstar #1 come out? Yes, it has. And again, it seems to be very much aimed at a preteen sort of TikTok generation book. I love the character Moonstar, enough to want to know more about her. But we've got this silly story that's thrown into there. It's all very much, you know, superhero pose, and a very thin plot that's trying to hold together, and a protagonist, a villain rather, that no one's interested in. It's such a disappointment, because all these new #1s that Marvel have brought out, bar a couple, okay, have been diabolically bad. Now, DC just dropped 3 new #1s yesterday, as of recording this video, or the day before, right? We had Deathstroke, really good. really, really good. We had Batwoman, really, really, really good. And we also had a third one, a third DC #1, and my Lobo. And if you like Lobo, it was really, really good. That's 3 for 3 of their new books. And so far, Marvel pump out these books. They die in 5 issues because they suck. Okay. And they do suck. You've got creatives like Dan Slott going on interviews, begging people to support these books to get them past 5 issues. Now, I'm not a big fan of some of Dan Slott's recent sort of outbursts and some of his work. There are some of his stuff I absolutely love. But the fact that a creator, okay, at that stature creative, he's one of the big creators, right, for Marvel, has been for quite some time, having to go into an interview and beg the fans to buy more than the 5 issues to keep the book going. That doesn't say he has much faith in the book that he's doing, or that Marvel has any faith in any of the books they're doing. But it also shows that the books aren't very good, are they? Because they're ending at 5. Marvel's gone, this is not making money. Let's cancel it, get a new #1 and something else. So this is Marvel. This is Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. And writers that like Dan Slott who are putting out substandard work. It's such a shame. Like Wade Wilson, issue #1 by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. Absolutely, for me, blew me off my seat. It had the balance of humor, the sort of crazy violence, the fourth wall breaking, had everything you expect from Deadpool. It was really, really good. Issue 2 was a little bit less for me, but it was still good by comparison to all the other stuff going out. In fact, I think out of all these new #1s that Marvel have dropped in this Shadows of Tomorrow post Age of Revelation, Deadpool's the only book that's done any good. And hopefully, I think Deadpool's the only book that's going to survive. Even the Imperial miniseries, okay, I called it, yes, it is. The Imperial miniseries event that ended spawned 3 or 4 books, all been cancelled. And they're cancelling Nova Centurion, which is the best out of the bunch. It's absolutely first class. I've loved every single issue. And they've given it 6 issues and killing it off. And it's a good book. What is going on? And that's why when I go for these catalogues, I point out how bad some of these books are, because we've got to stop buying them. So Marvel has to go, right, let's get some new talent. Let's pay the creators what they deserve. Let's get some decent stories on paper and in the customer's hands. It's not because I'm a Marvel hater, I'm a Marvel lover. So Cyclops issue #1, Alex Pac-Nadal and Roger Antonio. So quite an interesting concept, actually. I will be honest, I did enjoy it. It had its faults, like every book. Okay, so I'm quite enjoying Cyclops at the moment. That's still on the list. I read issue 2. I've not reviewed it because, again, issue 2 was less about Cyclops and more about one of the side characters that's involved in the story, not to give anything away. So I have lost a bit of interest. And there seems to be a trend with Marvel books is you have this Cyclops, Iron Man, whoever, main character, right? And then a lot of these books, the main character gets sidelined for someone else in the book. And it's like, well, we didn't buy the book for the sideline. We bought the book for the main attraction, and that's not what we're getting in Cyclops. And there's some silly stuff in it that's going in it, but it is what it is. This is Marvel. So Magik and Colossus, again, Ashley Allen. I read the first one. I thought I was going to get some really interesting Colossus and Magik story, brother and sister, some deep, meaningful story. But again, it's preteen generic slop thrown out there with substandard art. It's such a shame. Anyway, Marvel's continuing their trend of trying to capitalize on anniversaries of things that were successful, like Civil War, and we're getting Civil War Unmasked. These will be stories, 5 issues that go a little bit more in depth to either things that happened during the Civil War or things that we didn't know happened during the Civil War. So that sounds really interesting. I'm really up for that. Christos Gage, Edgar Salazar, they sound like a damn good team to do that. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. This one looks like it's going to center on Peter Parker and his ousting of his secret identity. So that's going to be a pickup for sure. So Wolverine continues. And again, I mentioned it earlier on, Saladin Ahmed. Why is he on this book? Why is he on this book? Julius Otto is the only reason I guess this book is even a page turner, because Saladin Ahmed has kind of had some interesting ideas, okay, in his 20-odd issues that have previously been published, but none of them amounted to anything. I don't know where this book's going. It's not doing anything for Wolverine. It's not furthering the legacy of Wolverine. It's just forgettable, throwaway slop. But we have a new story, yes. We have a new story. Like I said, so his adamantium somehow, as you can see from this issue to that issue, well, it gets removed somehow. I'm not sure. We're going to read how it happens. And now he's got some stumpy bone claws snapped. Christ. All right, moving on. Break. Logan faces the aftermath of the unthinkable as he and Nightcrawler embark on the perilous journey ahead. Ooh, but the true test lies in what they'll discover. Okay. Snapped. Wolverine has been beaten down to the bone, literally. His adamantium claws shattered, their bones snapped down to nubs. This is Wolverine at his most brutalized, most beat up. But when an animal is backed into a corner, they can be their most dangerous. Wolverine must fight his way through a gauntlet of enemies for his very survival. Villainous plots turn, and you don't want to miss the ultimate trial. For even if Wolverine can reach his enemies, will he remain a mutant? What? What? Is they gonna, what? Where's this going, Saladin Ahmed? What are you doing? So is there going to be some kind of thing that removes his X gene? You know, where it's removed his adamantium? I don't know. Going to check it out and see what the hell it's all about. So what if I am the Watcher? So we got a whole series of what if books. Okay, what if the Ultimate Universe survived the Secret Wars by Alex Packnadell and Cafu? What if the radioactive spider bit Jessica Jones? And that's an interesting one. I'll be picking that up for sure. In fact, I'll probably look at all of these. What if Craven survived his last hunt? J.M. DeMatteis and Ildiari Sinar. Okay. August, we're going to get What If Captain America Was Unfrozen in 2099, Mike Guggenheim and Ron Limp. Some interesting names here. What if the Runaways hadn't run away? We wouldn't have a book. They would have stayed at home and done their homework. A Rainbow Rao and Zuelema Scotto Lavina. We all know how that book's going to end. What if Cassandra Nova killed Charles Xavier, Ashley Allen and Sumit Kumar? So a mixed bag of creators there. Some interesting what ifs. We'll give them a little go. There's more. There's more what ifs. What if Thor #1? Got to get those #1s and those variant covers, boys. What if Thor got Spider-Man's symbiote suit? Amid the chaos. So this is Torren Grunbeck and Sergio Davila. So amid the chaos, there comes a costume, but not to the hero you know. Legend has it that bonding with a symbiote suit made Thor mightier still. But what shadows lurking in the 10 realms would make, or to rather take interest in such a powerful pairing? Let's have a look. What if the Uncanny X-Men #1, Jerry Duggan? So I'm interested in this one. And Jan Bazaldua. Now, Jan Bazaldua just did an issue of Captain America #8. I'm sorry, Jan. Not up to scratch. Not up to scratch. So what if Cyclops had stayed with Madeline Pryor? Very interesting. Imagine a world where Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen, had survived the Inferno. What would have happened if Cyclops had saved her soul? What would have happened if he and Maddie had raised their son, Nathan Summers? Now, that is a very interesting story. What would that look like? And why would that be the most terrible thing to happen to mutantdom and Earth itself? So these are pickups. They're interesting what ifs. They really are, actually. I'm excited. See, I do get excited by some books. However, not these two. I've done a whole video on these two books. A whole video. You better get a cup of tea and some popcorn for that one. Boy, oh boy. Countdown to issue 1000. Where something big's going to happen. Or something's going to happen prior to it. And issue 1000 is the fallout of That's Big. Now, spoiler alert. Well, this is full of spoilers. If you haven't watched the video, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you right now. We have a new supervillain called Spore. Yes. You can find out my thoughts on that in that video too. And we have a huge secret that's going to be revealed. May Parker and Peter Parker. There's something earth-shatteringly life-changing that's going to be revealed for these two. I wonder what it is. And it also looks like maybe Aunt May. It might be the end of the road for Aunt May. We just don't know. But again, I don't want to go too much into it. Go watch the other video. It came out yesterday as of recording this. You can find out all about it. But double shipping, of course, as they do. This is where we're going. Pete Woods and Patrick Leese doing an issue each on this. So Spider-Man's best buddy that came out of the woodwork in the new run from Joe Kelly. Brian, he's had an accident with an experiment, become this villain, this plant-based mushroom villain. And of course, we've got this story, The Talk, which is harking back to JMS's The Conversation issue, I guess. So there's where Spidey is. I'm going to leave it there. You know how I get about Spidey. Check out the other video. So we have some facsimile editions, obviously, to time with Brand New Day. So these, of course, are going to time with the movie, try and get people to read Fucking Brand New Day again. No, thank you. The spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day. Issue 1 isn't out yet. They've got Dan Slott, of course, to write it. Oh, these are going to tell stories, additional stories, in fact, that happened during the Brand New Day era. Okay, so of course we're going to review them because Spidey's my favorite character. I have to review every Spidey book. Are they going to be any good? I don't know. Do I trust Dan Slott nowadays? Probably not. Not with Spidey. So Dan Slott, Marcus Toe, and Marcus Martin. So it will look nice because some good artists there. The adventure into one of Spidey's most important periods. Ooh, most important, with some of the creators who made it happen, continues. Spider-Man paints a giant target on his back by stealing the Kingpin's lexicon. Fisk's directory detailing his entire criminal enterprise. Punisher steps in to help Spidey, quote unquote, but Mr. Negative and his army of unkillable inner demons put them both through their paces and do something truly horrific to our favorite hero and our favorite anti-hero. So I've made obviously a rant video about this. Not really a rant. I've dissected this somewhere else on the channel as well. So I'm not going too deep into it. Look, it could be interesting, right? Even if we don't like Brand New Day, for those of us who don't, we might get a really good story in that era. Who knows? All right. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So Jake Scott Campbell's JSC Just Spectacular Collection with Sabine Rich. What is this? Penciled by J. Scott Campbell, wraparound cover by J. Scott Campbell. This looks like a celebration of his art, maybe. Your favorite heroes and villains, illustrated by the incomparable J. Scott Campbell across 28 eye-catching variant covers. 28. So this... Is this a... I think this is collecting the art from the 28 variant covers that are going to be spread across all the other books. Wow, that's what it seems like. So we list all the characters that it's going to have, all rendered in iconic poses in the unmistakable style of one of the greatest cover artists in the biz. True, he was one of the greatest cover artists. Plus, Campbell's crisp pencils and inks are featured in bonus behind-the-scenes artwork, and the comic book superstar shares insights on his incredible career at Marvel and the process behind assembling these covers into one spectacular montage. Okay, do you know what? That's a nice little art book. I love comic book art books. You know, they're always cool. So that's probably going to be really, really nice. Really nice indeed. So Black Cat continues, G. Biddle Wilson. Now, I have tried this book and it's just not for me, guys, but I've been asked to give it another go. So I'm going to read the first, I'm going to read everything. I'm going to read the whole run up to date and see if I like it. But as you can see by this cover, it's just, it looks like Sex in the City rom-com slop for teenage TikTokers. What the fuck is going on? What is going on, really? The Uncatchable Thief versus the Killer of Killers. Gleb Melnikov on art. Black Cat versus the Punisher. Okay, moving on to the Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Verse. Now, we are not going to read the synopsis on this. I have done a video on it. This is what I was referring to earlier. Norman Osborn, as he's a good guy now, has decided to take in all the other Spider characters and teach them for a big threat. And no doubt that threat is going to be Carnage by the looks of it on this issue. And possibly, more than likely, another spoiler alert, and you've probably heard about it already. Peter Parker is going to become Spider Carnage. So maybe that's the big threat, right? Who knows? But Carnage is here. Doesn't look like Spidey's involved. So maybe this is the precursor. This happens post that moment. I don't know. But there we go. We're not reading the synopsis. We do not want to spoil it. So Jordan Morris and Joe Kelly with Pere Perez on art. Venom continues. Venom J gets an all-new look. Wow. Yeah. So what's happening here? So this gold glob apparently is anti-carnage metal of some kind. I've not read the run, but they've mentioned it a few times, as plot armor and plot devices in the current Death Spiral event. And if you go look at the art, Venom doesn't look like Venom at all anymore. All the menace of Venom, all the sheer terror, it's been just really toned down to sort of cuddly version. He looks like a minion. He looks like a minion's dildo, in fact. But of course, it's very masculine still. So we've got to change that, don't we? Yes, we've got to change that. So now I guess we've got this new, more feminine costume for Venom J, which is fine because, to be honest with you, I would prefer, even though I hate the concept of Mary Jane being Venom, I would prefer Mary Jane not looking like a giant bloke, all right? Let's give her some shape. Let's make her look like a female. Let's make her look like a woman, God damn it. Of course, we got Walking the Catwalk cover, right? Because this is fucking Marvel and Al Ewing. Venom J gets an all-new look. A face from Venom's past is back from the dead, with a warning that could mean the end of the world. In the face of the apocalypse, who can Mary Jane Watson trust with her greatest secret? Not who you think. Meanwhile, Dylan Brock makes a decision, and the Venom family may never be the same. Plus, an all-new look for Venom J. God help us. Why is... Moving on. Iron Man 6, Joshua Williamson continues his MCU version of Robert Downey Jr. in the comics. First issue was okay. Second issue was okay. It still needs to grab me, but it doesn't feel like a classic Iron Man story. And I don't mean old-fashioned. What I mean is true to the character. It just feels like the movie one. And the reason why the movie, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, works in the movies is because it's a movie. And I'm just not feeling it so much in here. And I'm hoping by issue 3, because it's got my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in, maybe it'll really grip me and prove me wrong. So what's it all about? Spider-Man must save Norman Osborn. Of course, same with the person that's causing the most pain in the entire history of Spider-Man. Tony Stark and Osborn have history. Yeah, I just told you this. They've known each other longer than you might know. And when the Iron Patriot armor is stolen, all signs point towards the former Green Goblin. We're going back to the old days, aren't we there? Only problem is Iron Man has just one little tiny thing standing in his way to take down Norman, the amazing, spectacular, friendly neighborhood Spider. So why is Spidey protecting Norman? Because Norman's reformed now. So is it going to be, no, he's not the old Norman that murdered people that I love and caused destruction across, the entire globe several times. No, he's okay now. He's just borrowed your, billion-dollar technological weapon for a good reason. Anyway, don't miss out on this key issue with guest artist Juan Cabal, friend neighborhood Spider-Man, more Thor, that continues the mystery of those keeping a watchful eye on Tony's actions. Hey, it could be good. I'm only joking. Maybe. Fantastic Four continues. Ryan North, not much to say. Not much to say about Fantastic Four. At the moment, we've got the Sue Storm show. She's gone to the edge of the universe to beat up an alternate version of Sue Storm. That's right. That's what's happening over there. Now, that story arc hasn't finished yet. I guess that might lead into this one. But this looks like an Emperor Reed Richards here. Is that Johnny Storm behind him as a sort of Centurion guard? It does look that way. Cool cover. So Pat Butin, covered by Humberto Ramos. Okay, so aliens have invaded Earth and have been rebuffed by the Fantastic Four many a time before. And finally, one of them got wise and invaded Earth where the Fantastic Four couldn't defend it. Hold on a minute. They're getting invaded by aliens over in Queen and Black, invaded by aliens here too. What's going on? They're attacking our world in the past, in ancient Rome. So you may have noticed a pattern of what I say about Fantastic Four every time I talk about Fantastic Four, is that Ryan North cannot tell a story in the present. It's always in the future, in the past, in the future, in the past. And it's just, come on. Why? Because it means it doesn't have to have any permanence, and it means it doesn't seem to be any canon that grows with it. But let's find out. Johnny and Reed are the only two who made it back in time before all of history is erased. But it's okay, as long as they can defend Earth, push the aliens back, and reset history to how it once was. Hold on, Doom's going back in time too. Does this tie into it? But that's a separate, non-canonical, not tied into any other series book, as far as we know. Also written by, yeah. Anyway, okay, so they're going to go back, defeat the aliens, reset history, bring everything back to the way it once was, and everything should be fine, right? Good thing that when left alone, Johnny and Reed don't get into any sort of problems on the regular. Plus, Reed stretches in a new way in this one. He does that in a lot of our issues, but this one is particularly fun. I don't know. Now, listen, he does get the sciencey stuff right. I will give you that. He does spend a lot of time, right, getting the sort of heavy science thrown into the Fantastic Four book. And he does create this sort of family dynamic. But it's all anchored in the same old story every time. I want to love this run. I'm just not. And this is the rebooted Ryan North run with Ryan North in it. I mean, come on. So Daredevil is about to drop, in fact, very, very soon. Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbett are the new creative team, which is good because it means Saladin Ahmed is off Daredevil. So we can't read the synopsis because we do not want to spoil issue number 1. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. I have lots of high hopes. And I really want it to be good. I will leave it there. Cool cover, though. Cool cover indeed. Of course, issue number 1 will have a blind bag variant. That's right, with lots of variants. So get on board. So Deadly Hands of Kun Lun. I'll be honest, I haven't read it. It just didn't interest me. The idea of it really didn't interest me. So I gave that a miss. Now, Alias, Red Band, Sam Humphries, Geraldo Borges. I have read issue number 1 and I quite enjoyed it. Is it up to the sort of scratch of the Bendis Gaydos run? Not yet. But we've only had 1 issue. But I tell you what, it does have a lot of those elements in it. But the characters sound out of whack. Their dialogue isn't quite right. But it was issue number 1. I'm hoping issue number 2 is going to improve, but I'm on it. I'm on that one, and it's Red Band. So, we like Red Band books. Punisher continues, Benjamin Percy. So far, it's been pretty damn good. What's this issue about? Warzone, a familiar term when it comes to the Punisher. So, Benjamin Percy, Jose Luis Suarez, wounded and reeling as his own body begins to turn against him. Frank Castle has no choice but to confront the ghosts of his past and the grisly reality of his future, all wrapped up in one, as Jigsaw's machinations and mind games come to a senses-shattering head. Face front, true believers, because in this issue, all the puzzle pieces start falling into place. So far, I think issue 1's come out. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's a continuation from the Red Band miniseries, also by Benjamin Percy, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay, it feels like a classic Punisher story, and again, not old-fashioned. Okay, a modern story with good characterization and honor to the legacy of this character and his history. Super good. One of my favorite books of the month, in fact. So Imperial Guardians. I don't think issue 1 has dropped yet. It might even be this coming week. So we're going to pick that up. Dan Abnett, Marcelo Ferreira. We're going to pick that up. That's on the list. Doctor Strange, I gave it 3 issues. It just didn't work for me. It's more about support characters than it is Doctor Strange. No, he is Dr. Cuck, let's be honest. Moving on to Sorcerer Supreme. That's right. Yes, Sorcerer Supreme. Not Doctor Stephen Strange, but Steve Orlando's 17th reboot, relaunch of Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Yes, so this book as well, I gave it 3 issues, and it just followed suit of all the other stuff that Steve Orlando was already doing, just by a different name, some new powers thrown in. It's been objectively boring, absolutely boring as fuck, and that's the only way I can describe it. Anyway, it's continuing for probably another 3 issues, hopefully, and then they'll reboot it back to Wanda Maximoff, And then Doctor Strange may get to be the Sorcerer Supreme once again. But who knows? It doesn't happen much nowadays in comics, does it? When characters get to be the characters and the people they were, which made them interesting in the first place. So Mortal Thor continues. Al Ewing, off the list. I gave it a try. In my opinion, one of the worst books I've ever read. And now we're into the facsimiles and all the other stuff. So we got Silver Surfer, of course. They're pushing the Silver Surfer stuff at the moment, so that makes sense. They'll have some classic books in there, no doubt. Silver Surfer number 4, Skyrider of the Spaceways. Looks cool. Jeff gets a new one-shot, but looks like Kelly Thompson's continuing with a very funny little Jeff book, which is cute. It's cute and it's good for the kids. And for me, now, Sentry by Paul Jenkins. Issue 1 dropped. And it was good. It was really good. It was a very, very psychologically dark descent literally into the void. Really, really good. I absolutely loved this book. I cannot wait to issue number 2. I'm glad Paul Jenkins is back on the character that he co-created, because this book's really good. 4 issues, if it continues at this quality, 4 issues is just not enough. Give him more. And of course, we get treated to amazing covers by Alex Maleev and some cool art by Christian Rosado. And if you're a Brubaker Phillips fan or a Gaydos and Bendis fan art-wise, you're in for a treat. So Marvel Knights of War to come. Well, this story started 300 years ago, and we're finally getting to issue number 6. In fact, there's been so many delays between this book, it's just dropped off my radar. It was really sad because there was some good stuff in there. Moon Knight continues. For Jebekay's, again, 20th revision of Moon Knight. I'm told it's very, very good. Dev Malaya Pramanik is the artist. But again, Moon Knight's just not a character that I've remotely been interested in. And the TV show didn't do much for it as well. So I might dive into that at some point, but my pull list is pretty full right now. Another book that's about to debut, which we're going to review, of course, is Wonderman by Jerry Duggan, because I like Jerry Duggan. But we're not just getting one Wonderman book. No, we're getting the traditional Wonderman, a little mini series about him. And then we're going to get this new series with the new ultimized, origin boxed Wonderman 2. So double Wonderman. If you like Wonderman, it's good for you. So this will be 4 out of 5. So there's no point reading this synopsis. Hellcat's on the cover. I'm definitely going to review issue number 1. Captain Marvel Dark Pact. Again, Paul Jenkins. We'll give it a go. I'm not sure what it's going to be about. The cover looks damn cool. It's another homage, no doubt. But issue 1 hasn't come out, so we're gonna hold off reading this synopsis in case it ruins anything. So into these Godzilla books. Infinity War 5 of 5. Jerry Duggan. It ends at that run. No doubt there'll be a new Godzilla book, but it looks Null looks like he's involved in this one. Null fighting Doom. Okay, I don't know if that's coinciding with what's going on in the Queen in Black and Null series. I think it's probably separate, but there we go. There we go. Is that a Venomized? No, it's Godzilla in it. Predator Bloodshed. Hasn't she one come out? I don't think it has. We're going to give that a go. Saddle Ahmed's on an Alien book. Sanity again. Marvel, just the same writers. Let's give the same writers fucking same books and expect different results. That's what's going on. Alien King Killer. Again, no issue 1s just yet. We will take a look at them. Hopefully we get to review them. I'm into Star Wars. Now, I don't follow Star Wars comics. So there's tons of Star Wars stuff, as you'd expect. I don't have any opinion on it. Now we're into the collected editions. Okay, so we've got a Ghost Rider by Benjamin Percy omnibus hardcover. That should be pretty cool if you're into omnis, which I am. Silver Surfer gets the Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus, the Ron Lim Gauntlet cover. It looks pretty cool as well. We've got Thanos there. Okay, two new, we got more Omnis. I do like an Omni. Uncanny X-Men, the Mark Silvestri cover here. This is the Chris Claremont and Co. book. So these are well sought after. I think they're going to fly off the shelves. X-Men Age of Krakoa continues. What else we got? Give us something new. What is this? Spider-Man, a brand new day. And we can do without that pocket-sized edition. Bacallo, Gale, Guggenheim, Kelly, Kitson, Mike. Yeah. Now, the other has taken a little bit of been popped out here too. Okay. Which I think is because, again, it all fits around the same timeline. And I think something in the other is going to be maybe in the new Spidey movie too. And maybe they're going to reference it. What's going on in the comics, I'm not sure, but there's a reason that they are sort of, shoving that in our faces. So Ultimates by Dennis Camp, thankfully has one more issue till it's over. And of course, he gets his 4th trade paperback. No doubt will be collected into some kind of omnibus. I will be definitely looking forward to the Spider-Man omnibus. That's going on my shelf day 1. I guess we're getting the 4th and final installments of the other Ultimate Characters books too. So Gail Simone, I guess. Yeah, Gail Simone. Uncanny's, X-Men's collected. These are just your usual standard trade paperbacks collecting the previous arc. 1776. Joe Kelly, Spider-Man. Give that a miss. Nova Centurion. Again, like I say, it's so damn cool. I think I will pick up the trade and put it on my shelf because I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Every issue, I've had fun. Jen McKay's Avengers, X-Men of Apocalypse. Again, which I'm surprised is being solicited here because it's been quite late, I think. But it's only 4 issues and a couple of one-shots, so I guess it will be out in time. We've got the X-Men from the Apocalypse coming back to fight the X-Men of the present or past. I don't know. Same old stuff, guys. Same old stuff, right? Same old. All right, Boba Fett, infamous Iron Man gets a reprint. The Brian Michael Bendis book, penciled by Alex Maleev, cover by Alex Maleev. So I guess, of course, this is going to be one of those books that they want you to read because of the movie. And in fact, pretty damn good. So no complaints there. And it's Alex Maleev. I love his work. His Daredevil run with Bendis was just supreme. So Rom gets an Epic Collection. Volume 5, in fact, that's going strong. Star Wars Epic Collections. They are really nice value for money books. We've got some modern era Matt Fraction, Salvador Roca, Iron Man, which, if I remember right, was actually pretty good back in the day. Got another Venom book there, and that is it. Oh my God, I thought there was going to be more. No super duper special limited hardcover oversized editions for me this month. No, those are the ones I really look for. That's how I like collecting now. But there we go. It's a mixed bag, as it normally is with Marvel. Now, some of you would go, oh my God, you don't like anything. I do. There's a lot that I do like. But honest opinions on this channel. Honest opinions. When the book is good, I'm going to shout just as loud. But if it's bad, I'm going to let you know. But there are some good pickups here. There might be some surprises. I don't know. But I'm going to read as much of this stuff as I can every month. And share my opinions on what I think of those books. But there's a lot of stuff coming. There are so many events colliding. It's going to be a very interesting time and month for Marvel. Again, this is stuff that's coming out in June and stuff that you can pre-order right now. But there we go. Those are my thoughts. Please do let me know yours. Like the video if you can, and please do hit subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. Take care now. We'll see you soon.